Alright guys, I'm here with a bit of information for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So this is already, 2 days before we get the information from Summer Game Fest. Because remember, after the latest trailer dropped, at the end of that trailer, we did get confirmation that we're going to be getting news on the 7th for Summer Game Fest for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. But apart from that though, it's really good news concerning this specific information. So it's currently 9:17 a.m. for me. But apparently, this information dropped about 5 hours ago. So, if you have a PlayStation 5 and you go over to the PlayStation Store, you can go and search up Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. But I'm pretty sure if you type in DR, that should bring it up, yeah. And if you go over to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and then you go over to the far right side where it shows information about the game and click read more, you'll see that for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the game now supports 2 players. What does that mean? Offline multiplayer. So yes, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero will have offline multiplayer. So we can finally put that to rest. I know that was a major issue that a lot of people were worried about, because when they first announced the game and we were able to wishlist it on, whatever platforms they were available to be wishlisted on, it only showed 1 player, right? Which meant that you are still able to play offline, but it was pretty much going to be limited to a single player experience, whether you're doing story mode or whatever the case may be. But now they updated it to 2 players. So that means that, of course, obviously the story mode will be in the game, but if you want to play with your friends locally, if you want to do like the world tournament, or if you want to see like CPU versus CPU or things like that, now you're able to do so in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So it's a good thing that we got this confirmation, because again, a lot of people were worried, and I'm glad that they put this to rest. Having offline multiplayer in the Tenkaichi series is, in truth, a much bigger deal than people realize, primarily for those who actually played the series growing up. Because when the Tenkaichi series was, out, online really wasn't a thing like that just yet. I mean, apart from like the Wii version of like Tenkaichi 3, but because that game had online, but the games were synonymous with the PlayStation 2. So again, most people who had these games only ever played them offline, right? With their friends, family, whatever the case may be. Personally speaking, I only had the games on PlayStation 2, Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3. And the countless amounts of just like 1v1 fights, team battles, world tournament matches that we all did just as friends was insane, right? Now, of course, times are different, right? And obviously people's friend groups have expanded beyond just their local residents, right? Because again, thanks to platforms like Discord, for example, we're able to connect with people outside of just the United States, right? People have friends that live all over the world. So of course, if it was only limited to just 1 player, that would be really unfortunate, because granted, I mean, you would be able to play with your friends online, right? Which is a good thing, right? But those would be the only friends that you could play with. Whereas if you have somebody who maybe doesn't have a PS5, who does want to play the game, but again, there's no offline multiplayer, then they're kind of screwed when it comes down to that. But now we have no more worries. It's confirmed. Local multiplayer will be in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I just hope that I really hope the PS5 can handle it, because it is based off of 2 perspectives of the game that, or at least the match that you're going to be in. And if I recall correctly, in Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2, granted, yes, I know that's not Tenkaichi, but it's made by the exact same developer. I remember the offline multiplayer in that game not being the best, or at least speaking from experience on the PS3 version of the game, right? The Xbox 360 version, I have no idea how that runs, because I have never owned an Xbox of any kind, ever. But on the PS3 version of Raging Blast 2, I remember that there was a lot of frame rate drops when it came down to playing offline with that game. Now, when it comes down to the Tenkaichi series, like 1, 2, and 3, those were smooth experiences. They were absolutely like darn near flawless, right? But of course, this is the series returning after a very, very long time. with newer hardware and obviously graphics becoming a lot more demanding. So I don't know how smooth the experience will be. I'm really hoping that the game has been optimized enough for it to run very well, or at the very least, maybe like when it comes down to split screen, since it is going to be utilizing a lot of resources from the PlayStation 5, or at least I assume it will, that they'll probably have like a slightly scaled down version in terms of the graphics in order for it to run better on split screen. I don't know how that's going to work, but again, I'm hoping that they're able to make like a really smooth experience for offline multiplayer, because the last thing I want is for people to be excited that offline multiplayer is confirmed, but it's a bad experience because there's frame rate drops or like graphical issues or whatever the case may be. I want it to be as perfect as possible so people can enjoy this game, which again, you guys should be excited that we're getting all of this Sparking Zero information now, because again, there's talks and rumors about the game releasing, I believe it was like October 1st or something along those lines. It's becoming more and more of a reality now with all this info that we're getting. Again, like the PlayStation Store updating, like the character trailers that we've been getting, the fact that literally just a few days after we got our latest trailer, we're getting more information again for the game. Again, in 2 days, we're getting more information for the game. So again, expecting the game to release this year sounds a lot more likely, and people should be excited for all this information. Again, Tenkaichi is back, and for those of you guys who have never played the Tenkaichi series, you guys should be very excited. Set your standards high. I don't know how much I gotta say that. Set your standards high. The Tenkaichi series is worth setting your standards like to the sky and beyond. But apart from all that though, again, we do have confirmation that offline multiplayer will be in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, so we can finally put all those worries to rest, so we can play with our friends locally and we can also play with our friends online, so the experience will not be hindered no matter what, which again is a good thing, especially for a Dragon Ball game. But all in all though, I'm excited. You guys should be very excited for this as well. But I do want to know in the comment section below, are you guys happy that finally we got the confirmation of offline multiplayer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? And since there is offline multiplayer, I want to know, if you have like a friend or whatever the case may be that may come over, what character are you going to use against your friends first? Let me know in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.